Hello everyone, this video is in continuation to our videos on human reproduction. We have discussed still the formation of an embryo and development. Now in this video we'll be talking about placenta. We'll be talking about the formation of the placenta and what are its functions. Fine, in our next video we'll talk about its types. So starting up with placenta, first of all, what is placenta? It is the maternal and physiological connection between mother and the fetus. Fine. So it has two parts. It has the maternal part and the fetal part, both the parts are present here. So we'll say that it has maternal and fetal part. They both combine to form the placenta. We'll be talking about both. Now for your reference, I'll just first of all make the diagram here, the small diagram which we have already discussed in implantation. I'll just make that for your reference, a small one. Herein we knew that these are the villi which were embedded in the maternal blood. Fine. So this is the endometrium. Fine, this is the I'll just make it thoda sa thick. This is the endometrium. Now the division of a placenta, or you can say the maternal part of the placenta. Now herein I have said that the fetal and maternal part, two parts are there. The maternal part is known as decidua, whereas the fetal part is made up of chorionic villi. Okay? These are chorionic villi. We know that, we had done it when we did implantation. So one part of the placenta will be this part. The other will be the part wherein the endometrium, it surrounds or embeds the developing embryo, and the next part will be the part of placenta which is not in connection to anything else. They have different names. So maternal placenta or decidua is of three types. That is, the first one is decidua capsularis. This is decidua paritalis, and this one, the main one, herein this part which has these chorionic villi present, this is the main part. This is the decidua basilis. Fine. So there are three parts of maternal placenta, and they are decidua basilis, capsularis and peristalis. Now herein these three parts, they form the maternal placenta. The most important part is played by decidua basilis, wherein the chorionic villi are embedded. Fine, I'll just write the types here. Parts, or you can say parts of maternal placenta. Fine. So the parts are, first decidua, I'll write D for decidua bacillus, then decidua capsularis and decidua paritalis. Fine. So these are the three parts of maternal placenta, and the weight of placenta would be approximately 500 grams. Fine. So these are the various parts of maternal placenta. Now talking about it again, decidua basilis is the part wherein chorionic villi are embedded. Decidua capsularis is the part which encloses the embryo. Fine. It is between the embryo and the tissues of the maternal tissues. It is present between the embryo and the maternal tissues, and peritellus is the one which has no connection to any part of the embryo. Fine. Now talking about the connection, how is it connected to? Now placenta is connected to the fetus by umbilical cord. Umbilical cord, which is approximately 12 to 24 centimeter long. It is just a tubular structure. If I just make a small structure, so this is suppose the embryo. Fine. There will be the umbilical cord like this, and this is the placenta. So this is the umbilical cord which connects the developing embryo to the placenta. This is how the connection is formed. Now talking about the, now herein we know, now what have we known till now, that the maternal part is known as decidua, fetal is known as formed of chorionic villi. Now the maternal part, decidua, is divided into three parts: its weight and the connection. How is the connection formed? Now we are going to talk about the functions of placenta. Now talking about the functions, the first function would be nourishment. The nourishment from the maternal part, the maternal blood is transferred to the fetus through the placenta. All the glucose and all is passed or diffused into the fetus so that it can grow. It gets that energy for its growth. Next is supply of respiratory gases. That means oxygen is also diffused into the fetus through the placenta. So these are its two main roles. Then it plays a very important role of secretion of certain hormones. It secretes certain hormones which sustains the pregnancy and helps in development. So the hormones which are produced by it are progesterone, a small amount, estrogen to sustain pregnancy. Then we have HCG hormone, that is human chorionic gonadotropic hormone. Gonadotropic hormone, HCG hormone, and then we have human chorionic lactogen. Fine. So these are the four hormones produced by placenta. Now herein we have a very important hormone here, HCG. We basically know the functions of others. HCG, I'll write here, HCG helps in detection of pregnancy. How? HCG is found in the urine and it helps in whenever you get test positive for your pregnancy. That is when this HCG hormone is present in the urine, and hence it says that okay, fine, the test is positive because this HCG is produced by chorion of this chorionic villi. And this chorionic villi will only be there if there is implantation. Fine. So HCG confirm pregnancy. The presence of HCG in urine confirms pregnancy. It's a one marker question. Then after that, the next part is that, or its function. We were talking about the function. Okay. So the next function is it acts as a barrier. It does not allow any, it allows only some substances to move in and out of the placenta, but still, in spite of it acting as a barrier, still a few substances can diffuse in, for example, I'll write it with another color. For example, HIV virus, for example, a few drugs. So these are some harmful substances which can enter through the, diffuse through the placenta to the fetus. So that's why during the pregnancy, it's, the females are suggested not to have any, these kind of drugs. Even that this is the way in which the a female suffering from AIDS can pass the virus to the fetus as well. So this type of substances are known as transplacental substances, fine, which can move in. Now there are a certain substances, in spite of this acting as a barrier, there are a few substances which can still pass to the fetus and lead to certain genetic defects or certain other defects in the body. These type of substances are known as teratogens. Now what are teratogens? Teratogens are the substances which lead to defects in the developing fetus. Herein we have the example of Minamata disease, as you must have heard about it in Japan, when there was an outbreak of mercury and it was there in the rivers and then went into the fish had that water and went into the fish. That fish was eaten by the localites and it led to a disease which was found in their next generations, also known as Minamata disease. So that is that mercury can be considered as teratogens, which can be passed through the female placenta. Now after that, the next function is it provides passive immunity by passage of IgG into the fetus. Fine. So passive immunity is the inborn immunity, as in the child has not to be given any vaccine for it. It's no food, nothing. This immunity comes in the child from the mother's body. This is known as passive immunity, which is also considered diffused or passage of these immunoglobulins, that is the antibodies from the mother's body to the fetus, is passed in, leading to passive immunity, which helps the fetus to fight with the outside environment as and when it's born. Then it also helps in removal of nitrogenous waste. Fine. It helps in removal of nitrogenous waste, the taking in of useful substances and giving out of harmful substances is all done through the placenta. Then whole placenta is formed in the 11th week. In 11th week, the full structure is formed in the female's body. So this is the various important features related to the placenta. We have discussed the maternal and the fetal type and the types of parts of placenta. We have discussed the various functions, the hormones secreted, and what is the importance of HCG. So in our next video, we'll talk about the types of placenta. So keep watching, liking, sharing, subscribing. Thank you.